What's up, YouTube? It's Meg, and welcome to the very first episode of How Do the Parents Feel, where I sit down with the parents of my peers who are very successful and doing amazing things that I'm sure their parents are proud of. I'm almost positive you will not guess who our special guest for today is, because every single episode is a complete surprise. Today we are interviewing the mother of probably one of the most talented singers I've ever heard. He's a really good friend of mine, almost like family. Can y'all guess? Can y'all guess? Today we're interviewing Mama L. Now we got Mama L in the building. We are interviewing Mama L. Y'all already know that's the mother of the one and only Lamarr, double R, the Dopester. So I definitely want to start it off with somebody who I was comfortable with. Me, Mama L, Lamarr, we spent 90 days together making some crazy decisions. So I think we definitely gotten a lot closer over the time. So I want to start this whole segment off with someone that I knew that I was close to. So thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
I really appreciate
it. Hey, Dopester.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So before we
spill the tea.
So I feel like Lamarr is doing some of everything. He is doing YouTube, podcasts, music.
Yeah.
How do you keep up with him? He don't sit still.
No.
He's always gone.
This has been since about 4 years old.
I was going to ask that. Was he the same way as a kid?
Yes. 4 years old, had him in church. He was on a praise team. He was dancing back then. He was a dancer.
The Dopester was a dancer?
He was a dancer.
I hear them told me that.
So we did start it out with that first, and he's been going ever since.
Wow.
Ever since.
Yeah, I was going to definitely ask that first question because it makes sense. Because if you know Lamarr, he's literally always in the car, driving, going somewhere. Like, it's crazy. So do you remember his first, performance as a kid, whether it would be in church or just wherever because he told me he was 5 or 6 when he had his first studio session.
That must have been when he did the what's the name of that song? It was a Christmas song. I can't think of the name of it right now. He didn't sing it so long. But he was adamant about getting in the studio and making this song. It's a Christmas song. I gotta do it. So me as a mom reached into my pockets and he was in the studio. Because we was attending Mount Zion at the time too. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people loved his voice, so they was willing to work with him. So that was his first. It was some Christmas song. I can't think of what it was.
Where did he get the voice from? Because it's like butter. It's like salted butter.
See, I would say his daddy, but I'm not. It's truly a gift within him because even when he was 8, that's when he knew he wanted to be in the choir. Mm-hmm. He was 8 years old. Because I was being a single mom, I threw him in anything he wanted to be in. But I put him in sports because I thought, maybe, how mothers are.
He played baseball?
He played baseball. And he was out on that field, and I'm just screaming, mother, and that ball came and hit him right in the eye. And he was going to walk off the field.
Mid-game.
I said, nope, you're going to finish out this game. And he just standing there covering his eye. And after that next morning, he said, we was driving, and he was in the back seat. And he said, Mom, I think I want to sing. And I was like, sing. Ooh, choir. It's free. Okay. Okay, you can sing. We can sing. So I threw him in the choir at 8.
And I was going to say, because I came here about 11 years ago, and I met him through a mutual friend, Christian, and he was leading Judah over at Mount Zion. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So was his involvement in church always super heavy, or did it kind of grow into that?
He went in full force because when he was 8 and he wanted to join the choir, by the time he turned 10, he asked to be baptized. And then after he got baptized, he joined the choir. Mm-hmm. But they pulled him onto the praise team at 10 years old. So he's been on the praise team ever.
At Mount Zion?
At Mount Zion.
Wow. And how long were y'all there?
oh Lord, we started there when he was 4 or 5, and then we have been going ever since.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in it
Mm-hmm.
from that young of an age, but then, like I said, when he realized he really wanted to sing,
Mm-hmm.
they noticed him, and then,
Yeah.
like I said, 10 years old, he was the youngest on the praise team.
And if you know Mount Zion, you know
Yep.
that's the place to be when to
Yes.
get exposure and get noticed for sure. So we know that he's a heart for R&B. That's just what it is. You know, I think that's where his soul lies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did he ever talk about wanting to transition out of church? Or what did you think about that if there was a conversation?
I always knew that there was going to be a combination of both,
Mm-hmm.
because he has such an old soul with music, because he can listen to any genre and just
Ride in the
get
car
into
with him.
it.
God.
Yes. I'm like, can you turn that down? Can you turn that down? But he has always been, like I said, all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever he sings, I know that there's still gospel in it, whatever he does.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you just do whatever you feel like you really want to do.
Right.
And he just dabbles in all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, was there a time that he kind of like put church to the back burner? Because a lot of artists do it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's common. But then again, you may have those like, I'm not leaving church regardless. I don't care what nobody say. Well,
yeah. He was sort of hesitant, and we talk a lot. But he would tell me how he really feels like he was more of a neo soul type of person. That was him coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he was afraid to get away from the gospel because of, people talking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I always told him, follow your heart. Your heart, God is going to tell you wherever you need to go.
Right.
It don't have to just be specifically gospel. But whatever you feel you want to sing about. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much where he just started just going everywhere.
I don't know much about Lamarr as far as his career, because we met 11 years ago, but we weren't close.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of met again last year at the video shoot. He was like, "You do YouTube?" "Yeah, I do YouTube." And we've been tight ever since. So. But I just know that he's really made a name for himself. Like you said, he's been singing everywhere. He's been everywhere. Melody Daniels, Duran Bernard, Jade Nova, recently, just to name a few. Like, the list is extensive. Mm-hmm. So how do you feel like when it pertains to him, working with so many people, and like your son is like the name they call when people really need that sound, that voice? Like, how do you feel about that?
Just a proud mom. I always ask him, his thing is, I'm always, he wants to be like in the forefront, because with him being in the forefront, he wants to be able to bring people along with him so they can grow as well.
Right.
So he would always say, I don't mind being a background singer or whatever. And with him, when people call him, I'm his number one fan. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, where do I need to take off? Where do I need to go? What do you need me to do? You want me to hold the camera? But I get excited when they actually call him. But it doesn't faze him like that.
I could tell
it does not faze. I'm thinking, who called you? Just like when he was in LA and he, what's his name? The one that did the earpiece thing. What's his name? The rapper that created the
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Mm-hmm.
When Dr. Dre, he was like, he wants me to sing on one of his albums or CDs or whatever, and I was like, the Dr. Dre.
Because I'm sure you grew up listening to Dr.
Yes, and he's like, yeah, and I'm like, the rapper, the Ice Cube, the Doctor, and he said, yeah, and it just didn't faze him. He was singing background for the Mike. I'm sorry, I don't get all confused.
No, you good.
This
is good.
Michael Bolton. He had a Christmas song. We went to LA, and I don't like sitting in the studio time because they keep doing it over and over. It's too long for me. But I went to visit him, so I'm like, okay. But he was doing a single for Michael Bolton on his album, and I'm thinking, we in here listening to Michael Bolton,
right?
And he's just singing like it's nothing.
Just doing it.
He was like, it does not faze him. I get excited.
Lamarr has been in and out the studio. I'm pretty sure he probably at a studio session right now. Like, it's just in and out, killing BGVs.
Yeah.
He done been on the Billboard chart. Like, it's just non-stop with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I just know how you feel. I just imagine how you feel. I just know. But do you remember his first R&B performance?
The first time that he did R&B he was in the 4th grade, and they were doing a talent show, and he was doing I Heard It Through the Grapevine.
In the 4th grade.
And he had me. He came to me and said he wanted to do it because when he was younger, all they wanted them to do was dance.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I don't want to dance. I want to perform. And so I was like, okay, so this was his chance to perform. So we downstairs in our basement, and I'm the choreographer now.
Mm-hmm.
And he had 2 friends behind him, so they was doing the dancing part, and he was doing the singing. And that was the very first time that he really liked that part of the R&B.
Mm-hmm.
Heard It Through the Grapevine. Marvin Gaye.
So he's worked with a lot of different artists, but he's put out his own music.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, he put out Situations, an EP, which is based on a true story. What's your opinion on it? Did he let you listen to it when you?
He always lets me listen. What he does is when he creates, he'll ask me, "What do you think about this?" And I'm gonna tell him the truth, because if it makes me feel a certain way, I know it's gonna make other people feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Because just like when he put out Without You, I had that on replay, and I was going through some things in my life, and when I would hear it, this is when he was still in LA, I would be walking through the park, and it would just hit me, and I just start bawling when I'm listening to it. And I would call him and wake him up, forget that we on different time. Right. And I'm like, I'm walking through the park and I'm listening to Without You. And, this song was meant for me. And he was like, and he didn't feel any type of way. He said, I'm glad it makes you feel that way. That's what I wanted it to do. And I'm thinking, that's all you gonna say? But yeah, he's very humble. But Situations was, it was another one.
Yeah.
It just,
I had it on read.
Yes. That was me. I was at work and I'm like, y'all need to go download it. You need to download it. Like, this is my son. And they would listen to it. And they got a hold of it too. But Situations, the first time I heard it is when he came back from LA, when they recorded it before they even put anything up. It wasn't even mastered or anything. And I'm in the car, and a couple of the songs, I'm just like, oh my God, everybody's gonna get this. And then he was like, thank you.
And I told him we was somewhere, and I kept telling him, he was like, thank you, girl, I appreciate it. Like,
yeah. Don't face him. I'm all hype. I'm like, we need to do a listening party. We need to do this. And he's like,
but I do believe that it's worthy of big thing. It got to get into the right hands though.
Yeah.
Like that EP is really good.
Yes.
Really good.
Yes, that's what I said. I'm a mama.
So let's fast forward to like maybe a month ago. Lamarr is now a Grammy nominated artist. Okay. So Grammy nominated. You his mama, his best friend, his closest support. Like that probably took you to a different.
I thought we was famous. But when you get there, you're not. I was like, dang. It was good. It was a good feeling.
What was the phone call like? What did he say to you? Nothing.
Come. He was like, what are you doing? Such and such day. I got nominated for this, and they want me to come out. Do you want to go? I'm like,
and it's so funny because if you know Lamarr, you just know they really be.
Yes.
They really have be.
I'm like, nominated for what? And he stayed the song, and I'm like, okay. No more enthusiasm. He's like, they go call me with the rest of the information. And I'm like, okay, give me a day. And hey, I'm on the phone. Okay, I won't be there on this day. Can't go to work. Bye. But it don't fade. It just. But knowing that I know that it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it's coming. Like you said, getting into the right hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's gonna come to where he's gonna get nominated.
Yeah.
He gonna win.
He gonna win.
Yeah.
For his own stuff.
Yes.
For his own. Right now, his voice is just on something, but his own work.
Yes.
Is gonna get nominated. I can
and
assure
see,
you
even with that, I was like, when he said he was gonna sing for them, I was like, I didn't know that you had to sing. Why would they call you? And he was like, oh, somebody gave him my name, and I'm. It does not.
And it happened at the show Sunday. Somebody heard him sing background he was singing background for College Aid. And somebody came up to the show was like, I need you.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, hit me up. I'm like,
that's him.
If only I could just get that one little call. They're like, sure, what's tea? I'm ready when you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's definitely not him. But I guess he's just so used to and I guess that's the authority he has over his life. Like he knows who he is. Like he knows the talent he is, the gift he has. It ain't boastful. It's just like, this is what God gave me.
He knows whose he is. Because if nothing else, I've always instilled in him, faith without works is dead.
Mm-hmm.
I always instilled that in him. But when he was in LA, he was like, I knew that it's so expensive out there. So I'm like, okay, you need to find a job. You need to get a job. And then his calm voice, unless it has to do with music, I will not be working. And I'm thinking, oh my Lord. And when he said that, that's when they called him at that charter school and asked him to teach music.
Wow.
And from there, I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm going to stop questioning him because he knows what God has over his life. And he just waits till God tell him. And I'm up here mother mode thinking, oh, Lord, my baby ain't going to eat. Oh, my God, my baby. Ooh, you got to get out of this. But he stays steadfast in that.
Yeah, and I love that. Well, got one last question, then we'll end it with her. Is there anything that you could tell us about the Dopester that we may not know? Like career-wise, something that you could probably spill the tea on?
Well, yeah, I can't spill this tea, but I'm excited. But look out. Y'all be hearing something probably in March. Yeah. Because that's when we'll really know. But when that happens, you're going to see it on here, Air Connection, Podcast Dopester, with all of that extra. To where it's going to be, it's excitement. And that's where we're going to need everybody to pull through, come through, and really cheer him on. So we're going to say March. Y'all be hearing some stuff.
Stay tuned for March, because it's coming. I don't know what it is, but it's coming, whatever it is. To wrap up this episode, I'm pretty sure Lamar's heard it 1,000 times, but I want Mama L to look into that camera and just send your son a message, let him know how proud of you are. Yeah.
Y'all know I cry. Okay. They want me to talk about my baby. And y'all know I be crying. But this is my time to let him or give him his flowers. I want you to know, I'm not going to give out your whole government name, but Lamarr, my baby, I've always called him my baby. One thing I am so proud of you is that you follow what God gives you. When he orders your steps, you follow and you never stray. And you have made me the proud mother that I am today. You never gave me any problems growing up, except when you used to lose your coat a lot. I'm just saying. But I love you, and you keep doing you. And to the mothers out there that I know that you always want your children or your child to be able to step out into this world when you're no longer here. I had to wait on that with Lamarr because I was afraid with him being a only child. I was afraid that he wasn't going to be able to make it if something happened to me. But the foundation that I placed upon him, knowing that God has him and he believes in God the way that he does, I can leave this earth knowing that my son is going to do and have everything his heart's desired. I love you, and don't you ever stop being who you are. And you keep dreaming big like you always have ever since you was little. I love you. And you have an amazing village around you. So don't you ever stop dreaming. And when March comes, the doors are going to open for you. I love you always.
All right, that wraps up the very first episode of my new segment, How Do the Parents Feel? Where I look inside the heart, the mind, and the soul of an extremely proud parent. Stay tuned for the next episode because you'll never know who will be interviewing next. Like, comment, and subscribe. Meg is out.